Hello my photoshopping friends and welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, then my name is Carl and I like to deal with all things Photoshop. If you're a returner, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video, and if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for the subscription. If anybody else would like to join the family, it's very easy to do. Just like a video, comment on a video, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever there's anything happens on this channel. Whether it be a new tutorial, it could be a competition, we could be doing some fun entertaining things. Just, you'll be notified of everything. And there's something on this channel for everybody. It doesn't matter whether it's the first time you ever opened Photoshop, you could be an intermediate, you could be advanced. There's something on this channel for everybody. So with that being said, I think we should get into the magical, mystical world of Photoshop. And we all know, for that, all we need is a cup of coffee, a mouse, some imagination, and of course, Photoshop. So let's open Photoshop. Okay, in this lesson, I'll be using variables to take a simple t-shirt idea like this, and using the variables, we can literally create hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of a similar t-shirt with just a simple twist and a simple change to the design. This could be used on multiple different items. It can be used right across the board, and if done correctly, you could actually go from hundreds of designs to literally thousands of designs. So with that being said, I think we should open Photoshop, get into it, and I'll show you step by step how to maximise every design that you create. If you'd like to follow along with this tutorial, I have included a PSD in the comments below. It is a very simple PSD with simply two layers. All the graphics are on one layer, and all the numbers that you need to follow along with are on a single text layer. The font that I use is called Norwester. I will also link to this in the comments below. It's a free font which can be downloaded freely and used. So here we are in Photoshop. Here's a little design that I created, just a simple design. Consists of just a few layers, some text, some lines, a few stars, but we will be targeting this, which is a number. We will be asking Photoshop to change this number using variables. To do this, first thing we need to do is tell Photoshop which numbers to change to. So create a text file, name it something appropriate. We'll call this one ages. Then inside the text file, your top line, this should be what you want Photoshop to call. You must remember this name. And then everything underneath is what you want it to change to. I'll run simply from ages 30 to 60, just for the purposes of this demonstration. If we save the text file, one thing to note is that the ages is case sensitive, so you must remember, if you're using capitals, remember to use capitals. Now back into Photoshop, switch on your 47. As I said, this is what we want to target. This is just I always do this step, it's not necessary, but I tend to make a copy of everything and then paste it in place, just so that I have a copy of everything, and then everything underneath is non-destructive. I can go back to it at a later date if need be. So now we'll tell Photoshop to target 47, and we will target this purely with variables. So before we target variables, make sure that the layer selected is the number layer that you'd like to change, in this case number 47. So our first step is to find the variables, which is under image, variables, and then we need to define. In the define settings, we need to make sure that the top layer is defined, and the layer that it's targeting is the ages layer, which in this case is number 47. We want text replacement, so we will tick the text replacement, and the name is the name that you call back, if you remember from your text file, which was case sensitive, which in this case is ages. So if we define this as ages, if you wanted to define any other layers, you could do that here now. As you can see, you can change the layers at the top. So next we go to next, where we can define some data sets. Data set is basically the text file you created. It's the set of data that needs to be changed from the variable. So what you'd need to do is import your text file. To do this, hit the import button and then the choose file button and browse to where you stored your text file earlier. Then hit the OK button. We can also preview the variable in action. If we move it to the side, make sure that the preview button's ticked and then just hit the apply. If all went well, it should automatically change to the number 30, which was the first of your data set. Then if you click the arrows at the top, what you should see is all the numbers change from what was in your data set, which is the text file that we set earlier. As you can see, we go up, we can then go down. All the numbers should be there. If you now hit OK, we're back to Photoshop. It will go back to the original number and it's all ready to apply the data set. As this is a t-shirt design, I also like to make sure that everything's central. I do this by clicking the edges layer, then selecting the background layer and making sure that it's aligned symmetrically down the middle. And now everything's centered, we're ready to apply the data set. We do this by hitting image and then apply data set. This should bring a box up and you should have the exact number of everything that was in your text file earlier. Now simply hit apply. Okay, we're now ready to export and automate everything and let Photoshop work its magic. To do this, we hit File, Export, and then Datasets as Files. We then need to select a folder. In this case, I will use the folder that I created for this tutorial from my desktop and just hit the Select Folder button. We can leave everything else the same as it is, just make sure that Datasets is set to all datasets. Then hit the OK button and watch the magic begin. While we're waiting for the magic to happen, if I could just ask you to like the video, comment on the video, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to comment down below anything that you've missed or that you're confused about, please feel free to do so. As you can see, these are all PSD files. These cannot be uploaded to any t-shirt site. These need to be PNGs. To do this, we can utilise the batch process mode within Photoshop. So again, same again, a couple of clicks and we'll be able to convert every single one of them to something you could upload to a t-shirt. First thing we need to do is hit the actions button, create a new action. We'll call this one save to PNG because that's exactly what it's going to be. Hit the record button, and from this point forward, anything that you do, Photoshop will record, which we can apply to every single of the other designs that you have. So basically the only thing that we want to do is to export it as a PNG. As I upload to t-shirt places like Redbubble and Merch by Amazon, I tend to use PNG 24 as this maintains the quality but also maintains the transparency. This means that you'll have the highest quality but also keep the transparency as well. All that remains now is to save the file as wherever you'd like to save it, and it will export as a PNG 24. We only need to do this once so that we can record the action of actually saving. So now all that we need to do is stop the record. So hit the stop button and then we can actually apply that to every single one of the designs. We do this by hitting File, Automate and Batch. Then underneath your default actions, we just select the action that we've just created, which is a save to PNG. We have a source folder, which will be the folder that has all the PSDs in. We then need to select a folder for the destination. So under Destination, on the pull down menu, select Folder. Then hit the Choose button and select a folder for it to save into. You could use the same folder, that's fine. With that being said, all you have to do now is click OK, leave everything else as it is. Then once again, sit back and watch the magic happen. As you can see, all the PNGs are being formed. These can be uploaded to any t-shirt sites that you choose. I'll expand them a bit so you can see better. In fact, I'll make them full screen, then you can see the quality of them all and see all the differences. So as you can see, just using variables and a few simple clicks, we've gone from a single t-shirt design and upscaled it to 30. If you wanted to, you could upscale that to 50, that's fine. And in the next lesson, just by using actions and batch processing, we can again upscale to at least another 90 designs, just with a few simple clicks. So please join me in the next lesson. And while you're waiting, please could you subscribe to the channel. If you could also like the video, share the video, and comment down below anything you feel that I've missed. So until next time, my Photoshop friends, I will see you again. Thank you.